Hi, welcome back to another short computer tutorial, and this time the topic is on classification of computers. Okay, so what are classification of computers? They are actually grouped according to if it's digital, if it's analog, and hybrid. Okay, so under digital, it's what does it serve? Okay, the purpose wise, which is special purpose, general purpose, and size and performance wise, is it embedded or is it micro, which has which we're in the PDAs, the desktop and workstations are classified under. And then next is mini or mainframe or supercomputer. Okay, so those are, it's like the overview of the classification of computers. Okay, so let's go to the other slides. Okay, this will just provide you an overview of what really classification of computers are. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. Okay, first one is the analog computer. Okay, so an example as what you can see here is a keyboard. Okay, a musical keyboard, and it's actually considered as an analog computer. Let's read the description of what an analog computer is. An analog computer is spelled analog in British English, is a form of computer that uses continuous physical phenomena such as electrical, mechanical, hydraulic quantities to model a problem being solved. Basically, it uses this small, tiny pieces of, especially as we call them semiconductor components, like for example the diodes, the resistors, and all of those which actually control how electricity travels in the circuit and how it is being how it sends signals. Okay, so and aside from that is mechanical. So all of this combination of may be separate as electrical or mechanical or even hydraulic. Okay, the nature, okay, of that device is considered as analog. Okay, because they don't actually use the in contrary to the next one, which is binary. Okay, binary computers uses signals such as ones and zeros only. Okay, not like this the analog computer, but we started with the analog computer, and then later on we just upgraded to digital computers. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, so this is the upgrade of the analog computer. A computer that performs calculations and logical operations with quantities represented as digits, usually in the binary number system, which is the ones and zeros. A combination of all these ones and zeros actually would represent data inside the digital computer. Okay, so how about hybrid? Hybrid is actually a combination of the analog and the digital, and those are capable of inputting and outputting in both digital and analog signals. And a hybrid computer system setup offers a cost-effective method of performing complex simulations, okay, on the basis of size. So this is an example of combination of analog, wherein you see here wires connecting. We may refer to these as the breadboard or the circuit. Okay, and then is translated into signals will be translated into digital signals. So that's a combination of analog and digital computer. Okay, next is this, the supercomputer, the fastest and most powerful type of computer. And these are very expensive. These are actually the most expensive computers and are employed for specialized applications that require immense amounts of mathematical calculations. For example, weather forecasting, okay, and other uses include animated graphics, fluid dynamic calculations, nuclear energy research, petroleum exploration, and actually even they use this for ballistics, like for example missile, in the military missile guided system. Okay, the computers that handle these kind of tasks are what you call as supercomputers. Now there might be some misconceptions between supercomputer and mainframe, and this is the statement that clarifies it. The chief difference between supercomputer and the mainframe is that supercomputer channels all its power into executing a few, okay, the key term here is few program as fast as possible. Okay, it's what's important is the speed. Okay, even if it's few programs, it has to be the results has to be delivered fast as possible, because maybe it requires real-time information. Let's say for example in missile guided systems, okay, the computer needs to have the result as soon as possible, or else there will be a disaster, okay, or a little error in the data or information will really mean the loss of lives. Okay, so these are the computers, that's what supercomputers are for. Okay, whereas the mainframe uses its power to execute many programs concurrently. Okay, so at the even if there's a lot of programs running at the same time and are processed at the same time, okay, and the computers that are used to handle this kind of situations are called the mainframe computers. Okay, as you can see here, these are very large, expensive computer capable of supporting hundreds or even thousands of users simultaneously. In the hierarchy that starts with a simple microprocessor, in watches for example, at the bottom, and moves to supercomputers at the top. Mainframes are just below supercomputers. In some ways, mainframes are more powerful than supercomputers because they support more simultaneous programs, okay, but supercomputers can execute a single program faster than a mainframe. Okay, so when you talk about the load of jobs that a computer does, okay, so it has when we talk about computers, that's the job of mainframes. Okay, so like for example processing data for huge servers, okay, these are mainframe computers. Okay, so but they are not exactly as fast as the supercomputers. So in rank, it starts with the supercomputers. When it comes to power and speed is supercomputer. Next to that is the mainframe, and so on and so forth. Next is the mini computer or mid-sized computer. In size and power, mini computers lie between workstations and mainframes. Okay, but this is really vague. Okay, it's not really clear. Okay, because right now actually we pertain to mini computers. Sometimes we actually refer to as desktops also. Okay, but before there was really a clear distinction, but now it's not really a clear distinction anymore, because even desktop computers can have high processing power already, depending on the specifications or the build of that computer. Okay, but when you talk about mini computer, this is the definition. Okay, next is the microcomputer, okay, or personal computer, which is when we talk about strictly when it comes to rank. Okay, this comes after the mini computer. Okay, that's why it's called micro. Okay, mini, and then of course micro is smaller than the mini. Okay, desktop computer, it can be a desktop computer, a laptop computer, a palm top computer, a PDA, or even your cell phones, no? Because before we actually have palm tops and it's not necessarily a cell phone. Okay, before, and um, if you are during that time, okay, when these palm tops were popular, you'd see people carrying with them tablets with them, and then stylus, and then doing some organization information or taking notes and everything else, okay, on this device. Okay, and it really is amazing to see these people do this, okay, during that time. But now it's actually very ordinary because our cell phones are smart, okay, are smart enough to do almost everything. Okay, so gone are the days when you have really a separate digital diary or a palm top. Okay, so basically now we just have the tablets, we have notebooks, and even very powerful smartphones. Okay, so these are under microcomputer: the desktop computers, laptop computers, palm top, digital notebooks, cell phones, okay, tablets. Those are under microcomputers. Workstations. About workstations, if you hear about this, these are just terminal or desktop. So in the context, these are just in the context of server and mainframe, no? So it's not really particular that this type of computer is a workstation. It actually can refer to just a desktop. Okay, it can be for as long as it's not acting like a server. Okay, so it's considered as a workstation. That your desktop can be considered as a workstation when you are in a network and there's a server with it. Okay, so workstations. In this context, workstation is just a generic term for user's machine rather, client machine, in contrast to a server or a mainframe. Now that wraps it up. Those are just simple terms. Actually, it's like a review for your lessons before on classification of computers. Thank you guys for listening. Have a nice day. Bye.